Oh, hi there. I've been reading up on some stories on the internet that there could be a potential for female referees and linesmen in the National Hockey League. Probably fake news, although a story that will have been discussed by people before. There's about 80 or so referees and linesmen. And most of them are actually far older than hockey players themselves. Usually the age range is between 35 and 50. I had to go look that up. I don't know that offhand. I think there's no reason that women shouldn't be allowed to be referees in the National Hockey League. I think it would be a tremendous thing because it would add this, change and more development in the sport as a whole. The disagreements I heard about it would seem kind of valid. I'd heard points that females are just not equipped for handling men who are fighters on the ice. That would be fair enough, but no hockey player is allowed to touch a referee anyway, and that rule should definitely stay into effect. And not only that, but hockey fights are nothing like what they used to be. Before, it was the players that were fighting absolutely hated each other. There was no respect, no real rules or anything like that, and they were out to, really hurt each other. Whereas in today's hockey fights, they're there for the entertainment, and those players, moreover, should be there to play hockey rather than fight, but the enforcer rule is adapting. Like I've said in previous hockey videos, I don't think it should be removed altogether. But there isn't really a need for a woman to have a direct physical presence to stop a fight. I mean, women are able to stop men from fighting anyway. In other situations where it's not a controlled environment, where millions and even billions of dollars are being invested into a system. Some people said that in the minor leagues like the OHL, the AHL and things like that, the fighting was a lot rougher. That's something that should also change. Because a lot of these players that are getting concussions today, it's more of a nagging problem. It's something that they've accumulated their entire career. So, I mean, Alexander Edler just got a concussion and he fell over. And was it really that, or is it a lifetime of being body checked, possibly a few fights here and there or whatever, that have caused his brain to be in that type of condition? Because sometimes you see injuries in the National Hockey League and you go, well, over time I could see that being a problem, but that specific incident that happened during the game I don't think is what the issue is. Anyway, I do think that women could officiate perfectly well, and like I said before, it could add a whole new dynamic to hockey, and give women a more respectable position within the National Hockey League. I mean, I think there should be some type of cheerleaders, and there are the ice scrapers and things like that, and when there's hat tricks they come and collect the hats as well. Sometimes it's men that do that, but give them a sense of purpose. Now, the thing is, those men who have those jobs, they're not going to want to give them up. I mean, that much you wouldn't expect for them. But, people come and go in the NHL. They get fired, they get moved along. Okay, they're probably part of a union or something like that. And, they're out looking for their jobs, but the game has to change. And there are positive ways to do it, which will invite more people to watch and feel accepted. And I think women referees and linesmen would definitely be beneficial for the sport. They would have to be very aware that although no hockey player would be allowed to touch them, obviously, like any referee today, but, you know, accidents still happen. They're flying pucks, and as things go wrong, they'd have to be fully aware of those risks. And, you know, but if there are women who really enjoy the sport of hockey and want to get involved and understand the risks, and are more than willing to accept them, then I don't see why they can't be referees. I don't think it should be a male-dominated sport. That being said, I do not think that men and women should actually play hockey in the National Hockey League or any official hockey league, because men genetically are bigger, stronger, and, you know, more prone to being assholes in a physical sense. That's nature. That's the way it is. However, you know, obviously there should be more funding and more money put into women's hockey, and I think a good start would be having them play as referees, because it's not quite the same as hoisting the Stanley Cup, but it's something that I think would be beneficial for hockey. But, you know, it's not an easy game. Even if there are no injuries to consider, there's obviously fatigue. The sport is very challenging in the sense of constant movement and training, and even referees, they've got to really have an intense workout. They got to be able to skate fast. They got to know this. They got to do that, and they have to know the inherent dangers of the sport, which, you know, are all things to be considered, of course. Yeah, so in my honest opinion, I think that most of the male referees should at least be replaced over time with female referees. Now, I know some people are also thinking, they're going, well, those female referees are going to get eaten alive when they go to into the changing rooms, or if they actually do try to break up a fight. But it's all about respect. And I see no reason why women can't command respect and make rational decisions as far as managing a hockey game goes. I think they're very capable of it. And personally, I would prefer it. You know, no ugly ones though, but you know what I'm saying. I think the game needs to change a bit, and I foresee that happening in the future. Anyway, I guess there's not much more I can add to the depth of this conversation. I'm sure people have thought about it before, but you don't see too many videos about it. So, to summarize, I think women can be as good of referees as men, and perhaps even better. I would think probably better, actually. That's my opinion. Anyway, talk to you peeps later. Have a good one.